transparently so you can see my struggles. With this music I get vulnerable, this mic is like a shovel. Got me digging through my trauma like this body's in this rubble. The destruction of my temple happened to me different levels. Adolescent years for me was difficult, I was a rebel. Never understood the difference with two brothers, I'm the middle one. Couldn't put my finger on it, I just felt the middle one. Suicidal ideations, I was just a little one. Maybe I just wanted some attention from my mama. With no daddy in the picture, started looking for a father. This turned into a mission, prison buses took me farthest from the tree I could have fallen. Left my daughter with no father, exactly what I didn't want. Chances wasn't given one. The system got a hold of me and never let me go, cause the color of my skin.
He said, after he said, you know, B? I said, huh? I said, I do. I said, you know what, brother? I said, I knew you looked familiar. I said, I seen you. I said, it was from the video. I said,
from prison to peer work.
yeah, I said, because when he first came down, I was like, I know this dude, man. But you don't want to be weird about things, especially nowadays. I'm a smooth operator.
Hey, you remember when back in the day, you'd be chilling on the porch most of the time when you was a kid, especially when we come from different states, you know, like the stoop.
The stoop? We had the stoop at Thurston.
Yeah, everybody be just on the stoop, on the stairs, different levels of the stairs, kicking it.
Let me ask you this. Why traditionally do black people kick it on the stoop or on the porch? Because at Thurston, we had and you know how they, like in high school, they have like a map of the school? Mm-hmm. It was actually Africa was the stoop. And it was like where all the stairs met in the commons. And it was like kind of like a porch in many ways. And that's where all the black people hung out. Called it the stoop.
Yeah. I remember.
We're comfortable.
I remember that area.
Yeah.
Right at the bottom of the stairs was
right
the
bottom of the
bathrooms.
stairs. Yep.
Across from them was the bathrooms.
Yep.
Got into a couple altercations.
Yeah. Right next to the trophy case, next to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Undefeated.
I had no trophy for that though.
Right.
They had cuffs.
They owe. They owe.
They had cuffs. But yeah, man, it's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, it has, man. It has.
Yeah.
It's been busy. You know my work schedule, it kind of fluctuates. You know, I'll get a couple weeks and then a couple weeks back on pretty much. So yeah, it's life, man. It's life, man. What you been up to, man?
Working.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Isn't it funny how we work, but everything seems to go up except for the amount of money we make? Are you noticing the prices of things, the economy, and how everything is so incredibly expensive? Oh, I got something I want to bring up too. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, bro, I got quite a bit to unpack about work. You know what I'm saying? Like, without getting too much in the details or you know the specifics of it, I'm just tired, bro, of this mattering for everything, really.
So
but for work specifically, so I was recently, like I said, there's politics in the space I'm in right now at my job, right?
Which is sad.
No, it is. I mean,
for a job like yours,
but there's politics in everything because the contracts we have, they have politics. So it's not necessarily that the politics are initiated by our organization,
right.
But we contract with organizations that already have their politics, and some of them have their
in place,
their good old boy establishments,
right?
And that goes far back, and it's and but ultimately, bro, like you know what I'm saying, just bro, being black and being in certain spaces, I find myself reminded that my position at any given time, bro, there could be something can happen, and the stigma of my lived experience, my past, even though everybody knew about it going in,
prerequisite,
and it's a prerequisite for peer work for sure. But add that to the fact that I'm black, and all it takes is one person doing one particular thing, and then boom, it's like, am I ever really truly safe? Is my position safe?
Right.
if I can't do what I'm hired to do in a particular situation because somebody does something to bring to light some stuff that everybody already knew, but now they're leaning on it in a way to where I can't do what I'm supposed to do. It's like how much value is in my position. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
And so it's like I'm just tired of being reminded that I'm black.
Mm.
I know it.
Mm.
I'm tired of, and not just that, just also the fact that my lived experience involves being incarcerated and being on probation. But like you said, that's the prerequisite.
That's what they
right?
asked for.
That's what I bring to the table. That's where my PhD lies, in the School of Hard Knocks, and the fact that I do have extensive judicial entanglements, but the fact that I was able to turn it around and get to where I am today. But at any given moment, somebody could sabotage. Like I remember before on a different platform,
Yep.
you asked me like one of my fears, or maybe someone else did. But either way, like being framed was my answer.
Right. I do
It was
remember
you,
this.
right?
I do remember this. Yep.
And it's like because somebody could legitly just create a narrative from thin air,
Right.
and because of the stigma, in spite of all the track record of current times, like I'm doing phenomenal things. I don't even think about the old life.
Right.
There's nothing going on in my life that could tie me to something nefarious, and yet somebody could bring up a thing, and all of a sudden, like all that shit matters,
Right.
and I could be
And
at
it's an
risk,
issue.
and I could be at risk for moving in the direction that I'm trying to move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point does the interest of the debt being paid to society of incarceration and doing excellent on probation and completing and being completely in recovery, being a community leader, doing all these things, at what point, like when do I get to stop paying this goddamn debt, bro?
I know exactly what you're saying. I do. I do. When I got my job, I had to get approved through the state, and that's one thing I said in my letter. Like, I've already paid my debt to society. What else am I supposed to do besides live my life right? Right? And when does it all align? When does everything align with what I'm doing now and what I'm trying to achieve in the present and the future, right? At some point, the past has to not matter because it's the past. So I totally get what you're saying. And I do want to tell you the whole thing about this, I don't think that's ever going to change, right? So it's never going to go away. So
No, I mean, it's not gonna go. I'm just saying, like, um, I'm just tired of it mattering for where, like, if I do the work, if I'm the best at a particular thing, and then you got this double-edged sword of like, um, you know, people want people to be confident and stand up and have great work ethic, but if you talk about it, then you're arrogant, you're conceited, you're
right.
a tool.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. It's like, man, we gotta walk a tightrope. And then, I hear sayings like, my partner was just on a TikTok, Threat Brown, shout out, and he was talking about like black excellence, right? And it's like, I understand that, but why does it have to be consistently, um, you know,
Black?
black? Like,
Why
why
can't it just
can't it
be
just
excellence?
excellent? Like, bro, you're an excellent human being. Like, I do things that I know other people can't do,
Right.
and it's not because I'm black. It's because I'm determined. I work hard. I have a mind that operates in ways where, like, even when I'm off the clock, I'm thinking about things that are gonna make what I do in my work either easier or more productive or innovative.
More efficient.
Yeah, I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep until I create a PowerPoint for
Right.
like, and I'm not even salary. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't make a difference because I'm built that way mentally. My mind works the way it works, right? But it's like, how many, like, how long does it take before what I'm doing cannot be tainted by what I've done way in the past?
Honestly, probably never.
Yeah.
Honestly, because as you as you move along and upgrade, there's always going to be someone else, right? So once these people get comfortable with you, whether it's this contract or this contract, there's always going to be another one, and then the cycle is going to repeat itself, right? Because this is never going to change, bro. It's always going to be this way, despite what people say. Yeah, it's not as bad as maybe the early 1900s, but it's there. It's definitely there, right? So, do you think that when a black person receives an award or an achievement and then it's labeled as the first black whatever, do you feel that's also a way of subliminally holding us down? Like you said, how it's not just an excellence human being, and or B was the first person to do this. Instead, B was the first black person to do this. B received the first black excellence award.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll always be a way to almost throw shade?
I mean,
I do.
I never really thought about it in those terms, but like I said, it gets old,
Right.
bro. It gets like, oh my god, again. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
Right.
like even in our personal life. So, and I could give a damn who watches or cares, because this is the type of thing that needs to be exposed. So, we moved into the neighborhood,
Let's
and
go.
there was a group of kids. They're all siblings or whatever, and we moved in the very beginning, like essentially the beginning of summer, like July 1st,
Mm-hmm.
right, all the way up until September something
Right.
13th or whatever, right. These kids were spending the night. They was playing. We was going to lakes. Everything was everything.
Listen to
Um,
this. This is
and
wild, y'all.
then and
This is
then
wild.
over the course of like a weekend, the kids start getting into it, back and forth. There's
Which is normal.
fisticuffs, and they're kids. Not one is older than 11, right? And so, my wife is conversing with the wife over there. I go out of town for a week. You know what I'm saying? During the time I'm out of town, um, somewhere along the lines, their communication breaks down, and they file a protection order with the courts against a 10 and a 7-year old, against their five kids. And, like, mind you, I'm just going to put it out there. First of all, that's super out of pocket. Second of all, even if you believed it was necessary,
Why could they just come
why
talk to you?
but why lie?
Right.
That's my biggest thing. Why lie? So in this report, what I'm saying, they bringing up things that are completely irrelevant. So there's like, uh thankfully, and not, there's the entire text thread from when we moved in
Right.
to,
Right.
what I'm saying, to up to the incident of between Lacey and her, between me and the dad, like always being cool, kids spending the night, asking for each other to come over, talking about how great they were. Her admitting to Lacey when we first moved in, like warning her about certain kids she thought were bullies, naming those kids. She calls people. There's a lot of Karens in our neighborhood. This is all in her text.
She kind
We
of sounds like she might be.
You
But
see what I'm saying? We got the receipts, bro.
right.
But when they decide to unfriend us and pursue this route, the entire narrative changed. Then it
Okay.
becomes, ever since those kids moved in, our kids been in fear. And she even made a comment on social media saying something like, it's sad that our kids have to learn about self defense. Their dad's in the military, has weapons, teaches them about. They've been on self defense. Like,
Well, they
first,
should learn self defense anyway.
but the point isn't that. None of that. It's the narrative that
Right.
she tries to spin to other people. You know what I'm saying? When we literally have the receipts, you're saying from the day we moved in, they've been getting bullied and
Right.
terrorized and all this.
Because you named the bullies.
But literally from the day they met until that one particular
Right.
weekend, they were spending the night,
Right.
knocking on the door 8, 9 in the morning, hanging out till 9 at night.
I've been here when they played.
You see what I'm saying?
I've been here.
But
I've been over here.
so when they wanted to change the narrative, they start bringing up my past. Like, what does that have to do
Right.
with anything? This is the kids, about the kids. My kids don't even know necessarily my past because
Right.
they're too young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get technical, my most recent past was nonviolent drug offenses. No guns,
Right.
no violence, no code, nothing. So what does that have to do with? So, you know, and it's just wild, bro, that they would try to weaponize the courts on a 10 and a 7-year old to where they're like, we're in the same neighborhood, they're at the same school, and they've already reported violations and submitted them to a prosecutor, and they're like, these are, you know, we've already submitted violations because they're like crossing paths or doing whatever, like they're kids.
What do they
They're
expect to
not
happen?
in danger.
What do they?
We don't even have guns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was another incident where their kid brought over an airsoft gun, and I super ignorantly, bro, I didn't even know it was an airsoft gun. I'm thinking like Orbeez or something, like the kids are playing with it. I grab it and I'm like, and I shoot the kid, and Lacey comes in the ground. She's like, what the, she's like tripping, like, why'd you shoot the kid? And I'm like, well, it's just a little, you know what I mean? I'm thinking like Orby, like soft
Right.
plastic, water, whatever. And she's like, nah, that's a whoopty whoop. And I'm like, I lift my shirt up and pow. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that stings. Why do you have this?
But that's life.
But it's like, why? But that's not the point, right?
Right.
So at that point, Lace texts the mom, hey, my fucking husband's super stupid. Like, I told this idiot, and then he shot himself. And
Right.
Her response was basically, LOL. That's funny. Like, you know, haha.
Right.
Don't, or she said literally, no worries. He shot himself in the foot earlier. He wants to do airsoft wars or whatever. Like, and then she puts, and she's like, yeah, I told him he's hella stupid, but it's the parental thing to do to text you guys and let you know that this happened. Right. And then she's like, LOL, it asserts dominance with the, you know, crying, laughing, hella hard.
It was all fun and games.
All fun and games. Totally done. Now take that. And so when they submit this protection order, it goes in with zero contents. The dad shot our kid with a loaded airsoft gun. That's it. And then they send one box of a partial text from Lacey saying, yeah, my husband, I told him an idiot, he shot the thing. So it's like, now you're trying to spin this narrative, first of all, and then
you didn't tell me that part.
Nah, yeah, but listen, bro, it gets worse. It gets worse because then they want to talk about that in their report. They like, the kids are this, and our kid is autistic, one of them, and he struggles in that area, right?
Right.
This is the same kid who brought the airsoft gun to the house unattended.
Right.
Who she admitted shot herself in the foot earlier, and he still left their house with this airsoft gun, which could take a kid allowed to, right? So what are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but all that comes down to is like the kids are saying the parents are criminals and they're going to kill us. I'm like, nah, y'all said that because the only reason y'all know about our history is because we share that. It's a public knowledge. I'm a public figure. I sent you the YouTube video, and I got the text from him. He's like, "Oh, that's totally awesome. That's so great. You changed your life." And that. So the criminal history part, that ain't got nothing. We ain't never sat down with their kids and be like, "Yeah, we have a criminal history." That comes from the parents, bro. So you put in words in your kids' mouths, and again, that's why I say, when is it gonna stop? Because as soon as they got upset at us, they found a way to mention I had a criminal history, paint this picture like I was just like, pow, zero context,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, why are you even doing that? And then, so another part of this, the dad sends me a video of 5 kids in a neighborhood bullying another kid. At the top of the text, in this neighborhood. Okay. So at the top of the text, he's like, this has nothing to do with yours or our kids. These are 5 kids in the neighborhood, and the videos of them, like, they're like bullying some kid, right? It's like 5 white kids bullying another kid. And he's basically like, your kids might be hanging out with these. This is just me giving you a heads up. And if I knew who these kids' parents were, you know, I would have probably put them on the order too, right? So I'm like, okay, so that's what.
Oh, this is after the order?
Yeah, because when I'm out of town in Spokane, I do what I do. Lacey tells me the order came in. It's not against me and the parents, so we can communicate. So she tells me that this order got served.
Right.
I start texting him like, what happened? Where's bro, there's nothing 2 dads in the room can't do and figure out. Like, he's all for it. I get back and
all for the order.
No, he's all for me and him chopping it. I'm like, let's go fishing and let's chop it. Let's figure this out.
Right.
bro, his wife gets on social media and was like, yeah, Mike sent the video of 5 kids that your kids recruited against us. So I had to screenshot his text. I'm like, that's not why he sent me the video. The first sentence in the text after sending the video is, this has nothing to do with yours and our kids.
Right.
Right? But they're going out of their way, bro, to file
Sounds
by.
like she's going out of her way.
File by. I mean, he's standing.
And
He's with it.
He has to rock with his wife.
No, he doesn't, because if
No,
Lacey's
man.
wrong, I don't give a damn, bro.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, like, you got to stand on integrity.
Right.
If you're dead ass wrong, bro, I'm gonna tell you,
Hey,
you're
bro,
wrong.
you're wrong. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what real friendship do. You don't, like, enabling, whatever you want to call it. Like, if someone's out of pocket, bro, and they're doing something that's not right, you got to be able to stand on that. Like, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, use the excuse that, oh, I got to have so and so's back. Like,
to a certain extent.
bro. I mean,
I get what you're saying, though.
You got to stand, even if it's in closed doors. You got to stand on.
I was just about to say
like,
that behind closed doors. Hey, bro, you're tripping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. If something's not right, it's not right. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that, like I said, I got receipts.
This world's coming.
Yeah, I got receipts. So they're trying to submit to a prosecutor, bro, to start a judicial entanglement journey for my kids at 7 and 10.
So what's the end goal, though?
Who knows? What they're sitting at home bored. Neither of them like go anywhere. They're like in school or whatever. They're sitting at home bored. One's the mascot for the school, so they stand in front of the school. They're at the school event, staring at my kids, making them feel awkward. Like, bro, it's weird.
That is weird.
It's weird.
And they're lucky. They're lucky you're not the old Jew, right? So,
bro, man, it's weird.
Right. That's crazy, bro.
It's just weird, bro. But I'm just saying, though, it's like those are the type of things that, are we ever really safe? Like people, you know, will give you accolades for being, you know, who you are or whatever. But at the end of the day, no matter how good you do, bro, if there's anything anywhere,
they'll always hold it against you.
It'll always come out. And like I said, bro, we was fishing, we was at lakes, we was popping in. I got invited to a, you know, fishing charter with dude. Right. Like, nothing was going on. And when the kids did have their little fisticuffs or fights, we would come together, whatever, separate them, give them a break, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
it was just normal for kids to do that. And their friends 10 minutes later. That is perfectly normal.
And that happened all summer for whatever reason. That particular weekend, like, Lacey and the mom were texting back and forth over the issues, and then there was just a communication breakdown, and they went instantly to the police. Like, you want to, like, bro. How could you feel good about standing on trying to get a 7 or a 10-year-old arrested?
I mean, did one of the kids get hit with a brick or something? Like, I don't get it.
Nothing, bro. And the thing is, whatever they were doing, it was mutual. And nowhere in any of the text thread did I ever say, like, my kids are innocent, or I'm believing my kids over yours. Like, she goes on social media and was like, Aries is a liar, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yo, like, all kids will lie if the narrative they're telling doesn't get them in trouble. Period. Every single kid on the planet. No kid is going to
on social media and did that, bro.
Bro, because I talked to the dad about getting the neighborhood together, talking about it, and I'm like, bro, I'm in these spaces where I'm creating curriculum. I'm an anger management specialist. I'm a parent instructor. I'm like, I'll be willing to be a keynote speaker, and we could maybe talk to the school. You guys are on the PTA. Let's do like a bully anti seminar and get you know, let's show them that we are aware, right? And so I put a post on Horizon, was just like, hey, if anybody feels like my kids or your kids are being bullies or being bullied, man, I live in here. We moved in July 1st. Here's what's going on. Because at the end of the day, I think we could all come together. And she went on that post and just started, like, literally, bro, just lying. Ever since they moved in, we've been safe for 2 years. And I'm like, we got receipts. You told Lacey how you had major problems the year prior because of bullies, and the reason why she joined the PTA was so she could be close to the school to keep an eye on the shit. And then she named some kids in the neighborhood that were bullies or bullying. Like, each of her kids had a special bully of their own.
She shouldn't be naming other people's kids, but that's a different story.
But I'm saying, when they were cool, this was her narrative. She was like warning Lacey, you knew the neighborhood, just beware of this kid, that kid, blah blah blah. I had issues with this kid and that kid's whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then when she's mad at Lacey,
then it turns.
Then it's like, oh, your kids have been horrible the entire time they moved in, and our kids never experienced no problems ever until they moved until them. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's what you're going to lean on to go to the courts, to try to weaponize the courts against my kids. Like, you're already at the school all day. Watch your kids.
Right. That's sad, bro.
How are they in danger if you there?
That's sad, bro. That's sad. Not only for her to do that, but for what this world is coming to. I don't know why they.
What'll be more sad is if a prosecutor picks it up.
Right.
That'll be more sad. And I'm going live.
This is horrible.
We go to court over this, bro. I'm streaming it.
So I'm still trying to figure out what the end goal, like where is she trying to achieve? I guess I'm confused. I get the whole court, right? But
even when I came home, listen, when I came home after that week, I literally, because I was gone for a week, and then Lace had to go, like literally Sunday we were home together, Monday she was gone for a week. So that whole week I was here, I had to pick the kids up like 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes early, because I would have meetings that would go past when they were getting out of school. So I was just getting them. So that whole week they got picked up early, and then they got forced to sit in the house until I clocked off. Right. And then you see my office faces the street. Yep. So I pop the blinds up, window open, tell them, if I can't see you, if I can't poke my head in the window, look right, look left, then you're too far. And so they got friends, and then I did it again. I met damn near every kid's parent they play with. We got numbers exchanged. And so for that whole week, they only been in like 2 houses. Parents come down, I'm out here hooping with them. Right. If they're out here, I'm out here. When we go to this little court here, and they're like, there's been daily violations, and we've already submitted it to and I'm like, when? I ain't even seen your kids. So there's a no contact order. Yeah, it's like a temporary. They already put a temporary protection order on the 10 and the 7-year-old. But those 5 white kids that he sent me a video of, ain't no order on them. He ain't going around trying to find out who their parents are. You got a video of them, right? Go find out who their parents. If you so concerned,
they live in the fucking neighborhood.
But my point is, bro, it's our little mixed kids that he want to do this shit to. But the 5 older kids that he got actual evidence footage of, he not doing it. He not finding them out. He not taking all this energy and figuring out who they are to put the courts on them.
That's horrible, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Courts should have never been involved in this. That is crazy.
No, not at all, bro. Not at all.
So now you got your
but listen, I'm not even gonna say they never should have been, even though I feel
they never should have been.
But at the same time, tell the truth.
Right.
How are you gonna submit this little box of a text thread that has 2 days worth of conversations in it that leads up to that? How are you going to omit the fact that you was hella good with this information, and like in the airsoft case, your kid brought it over. So when you just say it the way you say it, it's like, oh, this dad who's got a criminal history
unhinged
just shot our kid in the chest with a loaded airsoft gun, and our kids are extremely, they feel like the parents will kill them because that's what the kids said. And I'm just like, bro,
I'm sorry, you guys are even going through that. You told me about this. I didn't know it was like that, though. Yeah, that is nuts.
But the difference the difference is, bro, I'm actually excited for them to push the line on this, and I'm excited to see what
happens next.
Absolutely, right. This is where I thrive. Like, you guys want to turn this into a circus, then I'm gonna put on my big red nose and show you how to act a fool. It's gonna be a TikTok live experience.
Yeah. Right.
Make me rich and famous off this shit. Gonna go viral. Because their smug faces on the court, like, this shit's just out of pocket.
It really is.
Out of pocket.
It really is.
And the kids are in the neighborhood thrive, literally, bro. 10 to 11 kids running up and down the street, no issues. Not to say they don't have their little, you spend enough time around a kid, and
that's what kids do.
Something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come crying, and he did this. And then it's like, all right, sit down, relax. Just yesterday, he tried to ride down there. I said, oh nope, you're in the house. How long? I don't know. I'll let you know.
Right.
But you can't go past either one of these streets.
I just gotta be able to see you.
Yeah, when we can't see you. It's not that hard to just hold your kids accountable. It's like, okay, they ran around the neighborhood when we moved in. First time they've been in a big neighborhood. That happened. All right, now it's rein it in.
So let me ask you this: did you have to sit them down and explain to them
that's
you have to stay away from these two?
Bro? And the 7-year-old, he's like, but
it's my friend.
Exactly,
it's my friend.
For like the first week, that's my friend. Like, so Aries is like coming home telling on him, and like, he said hi to so and so at the school.
Right. Even at school too. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but that's my friend. But that's my friend. Like, no, like, you can't. Like, how do you, like, bro? It's It's ridiculous.
Did you also have to tell them that their color might have something to do with this?
No, I didn't even
You
like.
didn't, you didn't go that far?
I'm not gonna put that into none of the equation for a
It's
10 and
true.
a 7-year-old.
It's true though.
But it's still an opinion.
Fair.
It's not. You
Fair.
know what I'm saying? It would still be my opinion, and I don't want to. I don't want to, raise my kids on like, oh, anytime something happens and there's white
True.
people involved, just assume it's because you're black. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You
Fair.
know, I might feel that way in certain
Right.
situations, but I'm not going to teach them that as
Right.
their first
Defense.
line of thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? We're not going to go there first. Like when you get
Yeah.
older and you experience whatever you experience and you have questions, then we'll have those
I got you.
conversations. But I'm not going to militantly teach that to my kids, and I never have. Like, when my kids got older and they had to learn how to drive, yeah, there's certain things I had to teach them, like
Right.
about the Terry stop, or I teach my kids keep your license and insurance.
Can you
and
define Terry stop?
So the Terry stop is a law that came out. I think the last name of the person was Terry. That's why it's called that. But basically, it makes it to where if they pull you over for a tail light out,
Okay.
or a brake, they can't turn that into a criminal investigation
Okay.
without
probable cause.
any type of proof. Like they would have to walk up to the car and see a bag of dope sticking out,
Right.
you know what I mean? But a lot of times, that keep you pulled over longer, or they'll start asking you, are there weapons, are there drugs in the car?
Right.
Like, man, what's that got to do with anything? Here's my license and insurance. You pull me over for speeding or a light or whatever. Here it is. Do your thing. Send me on my way. But the Terry stop makes it illegal for them to turn a traffic stop into an investigatory criminal stop when they're saying that's not what the case.
I didn't
was.
know that. Okay.
Yeah, right. So, but also teaching my kids to put their insurance and registration in the visor above the driver's seat side, so that they don't have to lean over and grab something to where they
sudden movements.
Yeah, and it's like,
announce yourself.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
That's a real thing. As I was teaching my older kids how to drive, that I had to also teach them about legalese and teach them about their rights. Do white families have to teach their kids about their rights when they're teaching them how to drive? Probably not, because my kids not knowing how to respond to an officer at their window could be the difference between life and death.
100%. Yeah, same with my kids. I know if we ever get pulled over, even now, we ever get pulled over, nobody make any sudden movements, man. Nobody. Just put your hands right here on your knees and just be still, man.
Yeah.
And then I'll take care of the rest.
Exactly. And I know my rights. I'm diligent about learning laws and doing that. So that's how I get down. If I get pulled, bro, I'm like, windows going down this much.
Yep.
I might even have my phone tilted this way on live, hand it out, be real polite and all that, and keep it moving.
Right.
Yeah. This is a traffic stop.
Just let you know I'm recording you, officer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all that.
Name and badge number, please.
If they start that old, can you roll down your window more? Why?
Right.
You got what you needed. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to turn this into I'm not going to be no martyr.
Man, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. I'm glad you got to. That's crazy, man. I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, it's that entitledness that we have in society now. It's that crybaby syndrome that we now have. It's that is out of line, man.
Speaking of just like some random things in the black culture, I was going to ask you about your feelings on. Can you guess?
No.
All right.
Tell me.
No Diddy. Well, like just being a black man, like I don't even pay attention, but it's almost impossible not to. I pop my Facebook, there's memes. I just seen a meme of him with long blonde hair, Diddy the booty hunter. So, like the bounty hunter.
I saw that.
And I'm like,
he had the little baby oil sitting in his
and don't get me wrong whatsoever. Like based on the video of him, I do not condone woman beating. I don't care what color you are. Like that.
Well, the nigga's weird, man. The nigga's weird. It's just it is what it is. It breaks my heart. I used to want to be like Diddy growing up. I really looked
before he was Diddy or
when he was. I'm talking about Sean John, Puff Daddy,
Puffy Sean Combs,
bro, I used to get my hair cut like him. I used to want to dance like him. I used to be a little bit brittle that my name wasn't Sean. Like I used to look up to Diddy, And for him to be such an affluent figure in the black community, and then to have this happen, it's another way to make us look bad, man. Same with, well, Bill Cosby more, because Bill Cosby was relatable to everyone. But when that came out about him, I was like, man, fuck. But Diddy, man, it almost seems like all of these celebrities are weird, man. Now you can't put anything past any of them.
My other question is like, what's your take on like why now? Because when these things come out,
Okay,
they're decades
right.
old. Like, I mean, like, does it feel strategic? Like, does it feel like we're making steps forward, and then here's an icon that's destroyed, and here's something to bring you back down a notch? I got
maybe, maybe, but at the same time, white, black, green, Asian, blue. If you're weird, and you need to go to jail. But I do hear what you're saying, man. So we need to just lock his ass on up, and but yeah, maybe it is strategic. Maybe when there is some progress, it's a way to bring it back a little bit. Maybe you're right about that.
No, I don't.
But regardless, he needs to go to
asking.
jail.
I'm just asking the question because like I said, I was just thinking about it the other day because, bro, I can't open my TikTok. I can't open anything without some type of meme or discussion around this. And I was just like wondering, like, because we're, black men's therapy, like we're like everything from, our marital situations, how we are present as fathers, all the way to like how we're affected by worldviews. Right. When we talk about, presidential elections, like even the Kamala Harris situation, right? I never even necessarily paid too close attention to politics.
Right,
like I couldn't identify people like most brothers could identify basketball players, right? I couldn't identify a single governor if I walked into him in Walmart, right? So
Same
it's
here.
like, okay, I know who Trump is, I know who Biden is, I know who Kamala is, but I just know who they are by facial recognition and because of whatever the media puts out. And then you hear all this
you can't
noise.
trust the media anyway.
All this noise that comes from the media. It's like, even if I were to get involved in politics, well, I wouldn't even know where to put my opinion.
Right.
Because I don't know what's true or what's not true.
You can't believe half the shit we see anyway, man. I just know whoever gets in office, we need to lower these prices of everything, man. We need to get back to the way it was. That's what I do know. This is we need to fix what's going on in the Middle East, or bring our. I don't want to get to my own views, because I mean, I don't follow politics either. I've just started because I should probably start paying attention. But
you can't help but to pay it. Like, our lives are being affected, bro. I was in prison 5 years ago, and when I came home after, the prison sentence, rent had doubled.
Bro, it's out of control.
Bro, I was paying $12.50 a month for a 3-bedroom.
The one out in Hawkesbury?
Yeah, the one in Hawkesbury, right? 3-bedroom, big yard.
That was nice.
Right by the freeway.
That was nice.
Huge garage. Could have been considered a 2-car, but
park right out back.
Park on the back fence of the yard,
cool.
and that was $12.50 a month, bro. You know what I'm saying? two baths, 2 full baths, and I come home and my wife's in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, townhouse, which I don't like living directly attached to a neighbor.
Sometimes
especially one with HOA who's like, there's oil leaking from your car in your driveway. Put something under that, right? but I digress.
Is this an HOA?
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I went from $12.50, same amount of bedrooms, less than 4 years later, or right around. Oh no, exactly about I did about exactly 4 years, and $2,200, and that was a deal.
Right. That's a deal.
That's a deal.
Right.
So everything else would have been 25 or higher, which is literally in 4 years the cost of living to pay your rent doubled.
Right.
but the wages are still very similar to 4 years
That's
ago.
exactly what I said when we started this. Everything. Have you been to the grocery store lately? Have you
Man,
been grocery shopping
bro, I
lately?
went grocery shopping.
Huh.
Matter of fact,
Huh.
the week Lacey was gone, bro, I spent 150. I got like a
Six
couple
things.
cases of soda and some ice cream and a box of cereal. Bro, it was
It's nuts. It's out of control.
like I didn't even have to take 2 trips from the car to the house.
Right. You got. That's how you know it's bad, man.
Didn't have the kids
That's
help
how
or
you know it's
nothing.
bad.
Had it all in the
One
back.
trip,
Had it
one arm.
Had it in the back seat with a
One arm.
seatbelt on. It was the size of a kid.
Bro, I spent
And it was like
$420 the other
one.
day,
It was
man.
like one.
Other week
It was under 170, but I was just like,
for 3 bags.
bro. And I downloaded the app in the store
Right.
and was looking for the green tag things that get you the points and the 2 for 5s and the 1 for 3s and all the things, and it's still nothing, bro. We just got a bunch of sugary ass soda for cheap.
Right.
The Safeway had to buy 2 cases,
Right.
get 3 free.
You get 3 free.
I was like, ooh, I'm on.
But I be looking for deals. All of it.
Bro,
but you
I ain't
have
never
to.
downloaded a grocery app.
I haven't either. Right.
I was in the aisle like, man,
Fuck it.
and then when I was doing it,
Fuck it.
the app wasn't working. It was like, sorry, we haven't. So I had to go to the counter like, yo, I'm trying to get these deals. They're like, all right, well, just as long as you don't do self checkout, we'll honor
Right.
all the green tag stuff you grab because we see
Right.
you can't get in the app.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
bet. So I think we went back. It was me, Aries, and Achilles, and we just looking for green tag. I got them looking for. All right, I got these, Dad, 2 for 5. Put them in the cart.
If the tag ain't green, we don't want it.
We don't want it. Green means go.
Put that back, bro. It's not green. I don't want it,
Bro.
It's sad, man. It's sad. I literally can't. I can't stop thinking about it because I can't avoid it. It's at the gas station. It's at the grocery store. It's at the jobs. It's dude. Every time I turn around,
Well,
someone's
you know how
charging me more
sad it
money.
is to be in a
It's
suburban.
crazy.
I spent $70 in gas yesterday, and it just
nowhere.
ticked past the half.
It's crazy.
I'm like, boy, if that just barely got, that's like over $100, man, just to go places.
I'm about to start riding my bike to for short things and stuff. Not that I can't afford it. It's just we got to start cutting back on things, man, because it's only going to get worse. It's only and that's
listen,
problem.
bro.
It's only going to get
bro.
worse.
My oldest daughter and son-in-law,
Yep.
you know, bless them. I basically am subleasing my car to them because there was a time because I go out of state.
Yep.
Or not out of state, I go out of town, in state, like Walla Walla, Spokane, whatever.
Yeah.
And when I'm gone, sometimes I don't take my whip. So it got to a point where, you know, their engines.
You might as well use it.
Yeah, their engine seized. So I was like, look, you guys can just, the car note's on this date. If you guys just want to take over the car note, I'll keep the insurance up and y'all can just have it to the 20th.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I'm like I got to do what I got to do, but it's helping them too. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
Because, you know, my son-in-law work all the way in Seattle every day, 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
sometimes
does he work at the same place you worked at?
One of his job, but he got a
different job too.
Yeah, Monday through Friday job, and then we still do the Climate Pledge Arena stuff.
But he works in Seattle.
Yeah.
Where do they live? They live in Tacoma, don't they?
No, they right down kind of down the street. You know what I'm saying? But it's like kind of Tumwater, but kind of Olympia, right by the high school where I used to live.
Okay.
At that
over there. Yep.
Yep. And but yeah, bro. And then my homeboy was over here yesterday. You know, KK and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And he like, man, you do it. He's like, if they stop, like, I'll do it. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
Because we got 2 whips, so it's like, if I could just not have the car note for a while and I know it's in good hands, it's fully covered. Like, well, I gotta do what we gotta do. Like, I'm working extra hours. You know, the Climate Pledge Arena, the hockey rink stuff.
Yep.
Like, all that matters, and it's still
not enough.
It's still checks to checks.
Dude, one day I sat down and I added up everything, and I remember sitting there thinking, like, if I was doing this alone, I couldn't.
You know? Yeah, with the kids for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying that if it was just you,
if it was just me, maybe
you would basically have some savings.
I still have to move.
No, but I'm just saying if you were just taking care of you on your income, it would just be enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on where you're
it'd be. Well,
because a single person could rent a room a single person
true.
could, you know what I'm
True.
saying, could maneuver different.
I'm talking about
when
living the same lifestyle I have now.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Couldn't do it.
Hell no.
And that's sad, man.
No, absolutely not.
And this is supposed to be the best country in the world,
I
right?
submitted paperwork to the courts, and it was based on my income alone and indigent, bro. I had to get appointed a lawyer.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I make
decent money.
Yeah.
So we thought
more than 30 an hour, both jobs.
Right.
And it's still
not enough.
Checks to checks. It's still sometimes I hit the homie and be like, "Hey, can I borrow
right
$250 till this particular Friday?" Because
right.
it's just like that, you know. Things come up, bro.
And this is supposed to be
tire
America,
pop
bro.
in debt.
It's a wrap.
Let a tire just blow, poof, in debt. It's over. It's
scary, man.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary for people who work.
Well, I just cut down. I just cut off. I canceled my gym membership. I just canceled. So I used to pay for the social media verified badges, right? You pay for those.
Okay.
Right. Now I just canceled two of those. I cut 2 of the blue badges off because I have 3 different accounts. I just left one. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cutting corners, bro. We down to one Amazon account because there's no need for 2 of us to have them, and that's the same reason why I cut my gym account, because me and Lacey essentially. Well, I got not only do I have it in the garage, but as long as Lacey keeps hers and we go together,
then she can let you in. Right.
Like, why are we paying it twice? Like, we barely go.
Right.
At this point, you know, our schedules are close enough to where if we wanted to just work out together, we just go together, and it's the price of one.
Or get cool,
you know, because she still keeps it for tanning and shit. It's still cheaper to have the gym membership for like tanning purposes for her than it would be to go get like a
tanning a desert sun.
Yeah, like a certificate or like an account. Way cheaper.
So what do you think is going to happen, man, when this shit hits ahead? When the wages aren't adding up to what things cost, and in my opinion, the government allowing this or in many ways setting this up. What do you think is going to happen, man?
I don't know. What have you heard about the I keep seeing these other things come across different social media platforms, the supposed upcoming port strike.
Oh my goodness.
That's another like is that like I see things like that and I'm like, is that real? Do we got to go rush and get a bunch of toilet paper and paper towels? Because I seen a couple posts where they're like, if this happens, these are the things you're going to need to stock up on. Then there's like pictures of like empty aisles of like paper towels, toilet paper, some cleaning products and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, that's the stuff we always wait till we got like 2 rows left too to go.
I don't remember if you remember I told you this, but I've been telling everyone this. I told you and Lacey probably, I don't know, beginning of this year. I said around the election, it's going to be some bullshit. Remember me telling you that? Because there always is. It always is, bro. It's always some bullshit around the election. So, and this is coming from a person who doesn't even follow politics, but I noticed that much, right?
Bro, the rates for housing just went up 2 days ago.
What you mean by that?
Like the rates, like if you're trying to buy a house or whatever, like they went up. Like we're in the process of doing our paperwork, and a couple of my real estate friends are like, yeah, they should be going down soon. They just went up. Hopefully they'll go down after the election, but then it's like, who's to say? Like, does it matter who gets an election, or is it like when it's over itself, or is it going to be per president whether it goes down or up?
Right.
I don't even know these answers.
Well, here, I'm gonna give you the answer real quick. This is what's going to turn into.
Is this prophetic or
no? I'm telling you this is true. Monday and Thursday, if your last name is A through K, line up with the other 30,000 people and get your cup of rice and your gallon of water. Tuesday and Friday, L through Z, line up with the other 30,000 people and get your cup of water or your gallon of water and your cup of rice. If we're not careful, that's what's gonna fucking happen, man. I'm telling you. And then, and this is my opinion. And then we're gonna end up. This is what I think. It's gonna get so bad where they're gonna have to step in and implement something, right? And then when they implement something, because everything's so bad, I don't know if it's war, I don't know if the prices, whatever the case may have it be, it gets so bad where they come in, oh, here's a solution, right? And now they have, I don't want to say control or whatever, but they'll be able to dictate pretty much every American's life. And this is
So
coming from someone who doesn't even follow politics, right?
okay, but as a black man who doesn't follow politics,
Yeah.
do you think it matters significantly if we were to have a black woman president
Mm,
right now?
I'm glad you said that. So I don't think what I worry about is the way these other countries will perceive us, especially like these Muslim countries that don't respect women anyway. For some reason, my mind always goes to that.
Mm.
Russia and Kazakhstan or
Yeah,
whatever.
because a lot of those countries, women are
They don't respect
basically
women
like,
anyway.
yeah, they're like property. They're like they shouldn't be
Right.
in leadership roles.
Right.
According to those, like we're obviously way more advanced in society when it comes to like how we view women in our
Right.
country. But you're right. Other countries will be like,
They're gonna look at us like we're a joke. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and does that mean? All right, now we go get them? Who knows, right? Who knows? But I think about that. I think about that a lot.
What do you feel about like? I don't even know if you could vote. I don't even know if I can vote yet. I mean,
I've never done it, but I don't know.
it. Would you vote exclusively for race?
No, no. Mm-mm. The reason I couldn't vote because of my situation. But if I could vote, I would not vote unless I sat down and actually watched and paid attention to what's going on. And
Policies.
listen, man, I
So
don't even think our votes matter anyway.
No, but I'm just saying policy. But if they did, and you knew they did, and you had the ability, it would be policies that matter to you, like whose
It would be
policies were
what
better.
this motherfucker's saying and what this motherfucker's saying and what I think is best for the country because that is what I believe the government should be. What is best for the American people, not for Calvin or not for B, but overall collective. What is best for the country?
Yeah.
That's what I believe our government. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because my mom, my dad, my stepmom, and stepdad all were drill sergeants. They all were in the military. So I grew up, that's all I knew was military, military, military. I remember when my mom went to Saudi Arabia, right, back in 1990, Desert Storm, and I was scared the entire time that she was not going to come home. Thank God she came home. But I value our troops, right? I value our defenses. And when these people, fresh out of high school, 18, 17 years old, sign up for fucking war, essentially, right? Sign up for fucking war so that I can walk around like them and walk my dog and do whatever I want to do so I can go to the store and do what I want to do when I want to do it.
So we can sit on porches and record
so we can sit on porches and record podcasts. That's what the government needs to protect and uphold, right? And I don't always feel that's the case.
Yeah, one argument I keep hearing, and again, I don't follow politics, but I watch like little YouTube clips of this. I did watch the actual full debate.
I watched that one too.
And from my opinion, watching that, I didn't feel like either of them was running on policies. Or at least they didn't really dive into what those policies specifically would do for the American people. I felt like just like I also watched the Biden one where they at the end start talking about who's a better golfer and taking shots.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about. I just recently watched the Kamala one.
Oh, okay, right. I didn't watch that one.
But again, like it was less theatrical and clownish than I thought it was going to be, but it was still a lot of like dancing around the specifics of the policies that are going to affect the taxpayer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm like, okay, where can we go find policies to read ourselves that they're presenting, that they're running on? Because if they're not talking about them in detail on the social media platforms, where can we go as American people and be like, these are the policies in writing or whatever?
This is what you say you're going to do. Let me read it.
Yeah,
this is what I want to know you're going to do. Let me read
if anybody's watching and they have like a link, put it in the comments. I want to know if there's somewhere I could go to actually dissect the policies that Kamala's running on and the policies that Trump supposedly is running on. Because for somebody like me who's recently paying attention and starting to think about how it's going to affect me as an American, not as a black man or as a felon or as
Right.
any of these other stigmatizing tags that go on me because the way I look or the things I've done, but as an American person who is a contributing citizen, I work, right? I want to be able to look at those policies and make an opinion. But I can't vote. But still, I do like knowledge. I like to know things. I like to have conversations around things that I can speak on. Right
Right.
now, I couldn't have a debate with anybody from either side, whether they're Democrat or
Right.
Republican. I don't even know the difference. And I feel like they switched roles when I was lightweight paying attention maybe 10 years ago. I feel like Republicans are doing what Democrats used to do, and Democrats are doing what Republicans used to do. Like they're still red and blue, but they switched, like, I don't know, ideologies. Like
Hmm.
they trade it off. So it's super confusing to someone
Hey,
like me.
you know what? I actually, one of my friends told me this. I thought this was super interesting. He said, why don't we have all of the different political views? Republican, Democrat, um, what's the one?
Independent.
Independent. And what's the other one? Communist. He was saying,
Oh,
why
so I think it's socialism.
socialism?
Socialist.
But why isn't there? Why can't we choose from all of them? Maybe there's some people that want socialism. Maybe there's some people that want communist,
I mean,
independent. There should be every single one, and we should be able to vote.
one thing I have done a little bit of research on is one of the guys I watch on YouTube always brings up the fact that historically socialism has failed miserably, and many people have died under socialism rules countries, right?
I don't think I even know what socialism is.
I
But
don't necessarily, I couldn't define it right now, but I did like Google like certain things
right, right,
after,
right,
like you know what I'm saying? Because I'll watch these little things and then I'll start like trying to fact check
right,
some of the shit, because if something hits me a certain way, I want to know, like, okay, if this hits me this way, that's what I'm gonna go do research on. Because
okay,
if I feel a certain type of way about something, I want to make sure it's accurate.
right, right, right,
Otherwise,
right.
that feeling doesn't need to be there.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
Like if you tell me something, I'm like, damn, that hurts, and then I go do some research, and what you said isn't even true. I just wasted a whole feeling for no
Hmm.
reason,
Hmm.
and a whole opinion could have been formulated around some misinformation.
Right.
So I try, but again, busy, bro. Be busy. It's it's
Who
not
you
easy. Like
telling?
if it's not
Who
in
you
the
telling?
moment, I usually will give it up,
Yeah.
and then the feeling and everything that went with it just goes. I just don't give it no energy. But if it's something very interesting to me, I'll look into it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Go down that rabbit hole.
yeah, I'll go down it a little bit. You know what I mean? There's a couple people, and I try to do both sides. So like, there's a female who's like Democratic, and then
Okay.
there's a dude. I just can't think of their names right now, but it's a white dude, and he'd be like, he'd be debating college students. I
Okay.
think it's like Kirk. I can't think of his name right now, but I just be watching those. And then there's a black female who's like Democratic, who also be like
Talking
having.
about Candace. Candace.
Is that it?
She.
Yeah, Candace. And that's
Candace something.
recent.
Parker. Candace
Yep,
Jones or
I
something
think
like
so.
that.
I think so, Parker, something like that. But she be having her strong opinions about things. But what I'll do is I'll hear certain pieces, like, so she could go for an hour, and if I listen to it driving or I'm whatever working out and I'm listening to her, I'm not gonna
Smart woman,
believe.
by the way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna believe or like really resonate with every single piece of
Of
it. But
course.
there's
Of
certain
course.
things, and I'm
Right.
like, ooh,
Right.
okay, I can see that, and then I'll start googling stuff. You know what I'm saying? Start trying to fact checker.
Right. Right. Right.
And the same thing, with Kirk. So Kirk had said something very interesting, and I think it's interesting because of what we're doing right here. And somebody had said, like, I think the debate or the question was around like, why are the percentage of people that are incarcerated, and then the percentage of those incarcerated are black, and why they're committing crime. And the debate was that, and he was basically saying, like, his answer to that wasn't that were given less opportunity or wasn't due to privilege, but it was due to lack of fathers in the house. And,
Mm.
and, and his argument was that in the 50s or whenever it was, we were actually way better off, way more richer. And he said, and his historical facts come from the fact that back then we were staying together, we were staying married.
Yeah.
And he was saying that it's more
true.
socially
That's true.
accepted that black men, it's more socially accepted for a black man to get someone pregnant and not
Dip
have to
out.
dip out, have multiple babies, mamas. Like it's more of a stamp of like, I don't know, it's like credible. But he
Right.
was also saying, but in middle aged, what's the different tiers of I can't think of it.
Like Gen Z
Class,
or
no
something?
classes. You know, like
Oh,
middle
okay.
class, upper
Yep,
class.
yep, yep, yep.
Like so for like middle class to upper class, typical white families, it's actually a stigma. Like if a kid or teenager would get a girl pregnant, it's actually a stigmatizing thing that goes on
It's
them
frowned
socially.
upon.
It's very frowned upon, and they, like the parent, whatever, they would kind of really push the line, like do the right thing, get married, marry that girl, or you know.
Right.
But in our society,
Step up.
yeah. But in ours, it's like, and so that led to the increase of crime from then to now has to do more with absent fathers than it does any other factor.
That's
in
interesting.
the black culture.
That's interesting.
And I started doing a little research on that. And when I do a little bit more, maybe another session on.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, man.
Well, think about it. I mean, just hearing that, what does that make you like?
It sounds legit just off the top. It sounds legit. And I do agree with that. I do agree that a father in the household, a mother as well, but
No, it also
especially is vital.
Yeah, because he also quoted a bunch of studies that actually show, and this is across all races, that I think he said something like a single mother household, a kid only hears, like, I might be wrong, but just to make the point, say 3,000 words a day versus 7 when a 2-parent household.
Okay.
Right. So there's like a literal, like, and he was calling it a 2-parent household privilege, because that could go to any race. Like if you're raised with both your parents the whole time, the amount of information that you're getting, the amount of intellectual evolution that you're exposed to is completely different.
That's deep.
Than just one parent.
That's deep.
Right?
Yeah.
He said a lot of that attributes to the lack of fathers in black communities.
That's deep, man.
And I thought about that. I've been thinking about that ever since I watched that. It was like a YouTube video, and I was just like, about to research this.
Yeah.
I really want to know if it's as he says it is.
I mean, just off what I think, I would, in my opinion, I would have to agree with that. You know, a surface level, I would have to agree with that. But yeah, that's super interesting, man. I might look into that too.
Yeah, and just from like an academic level, like there's obviously studies and statistics that say these kids are more likely to graduate, have higher success rates, have higher possibilities of moving into certain fields because they had both parents versus people that didn't. And even if you don't do it through the lens of racial, but just that
human,
just parents, 2 or 1. What are the studies that exist, and how can we find them and actually do this research? That's what I've been looking into for about 3 weeks now. And so what I've found so far is in alignment with those numbers that he said.
Green check mark.
So far.
Right.
And I'm obviously not a scholar on that topic.
Right.
But him saying that, him making that debate with that person, and the person that he was debating was just, they were not well equipped to even have that debate.
They weren't even ready.
He was like, his guns was loaded. He had the answers. He had the statistics. He could quote the studies, the institutes, the information. And so, you know, it was a one-sided debate for sure, but it doesn't take away from like the facts that what he's saying could very well be the case.
Yeah, send me that dude's name when you figure it out. That's something that I think I want to look into too. Interesting.
Charlie Kirk, I think.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
Yeah. Be warned. He's a Christian Trumper for die hard, but I don't watch because I'm a Trumper.
Right.
I watch because it was a short. Right.
Fascinating. Right.
But shorts. Mm-hmm. So it was a short, and then it was like, click on this for the full. So the first one that hit me to him, he was in the center, and he was debating 20 woke students.
Right.
And they would like take turns coming to the middle. Like they'd have a certain amount of time, they would have a topic, and then they were just debating. And then when the time ran out, or if a certain amount of red flags went up, while they could cut that person short. Like, nah, you're not
ready.
And then he would walk off, and then the timer would come, and then they would race to the seat to be able to debate Charlie. And so that was the first one that hit me to just that. But then I also watched a young college student debate a bunch of Trumpers.
Okay.
So I've seen it happen twice, because then that whole process is what interested me. It wasn't the person or what he was particularly like. Either of their philosophies didn't necessarily matter, but I was interested in the process. I like intelligent conversations. I like intellectual.
Me too.
You know, that type of thing will entertain me more than a basketball game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For me, it feeds
I do like my basketball, but I get what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. For me, you know.
No, I do. I do.
You know, I'm a when it comes to sports, I'm a main event socialist.
Right.
Like I like to socialize around like the playoffs or a Super Bowl or a championship,
the big moments.
Yeah, but I'm not going to follow. I'm not going to follow. 7,000 people's careers and be able to argue with you about where they went to school. It's like you can save that energy. It's like, how come you're not doing good in life, but you're like a computer?
But you know every single
stats
from when he was in high school.
Can't lose an argument. Put that same brain power into a job or creating a business, and you probably wouldn't need to borrow money.
Can I get a suit?
You wouldn't need to borrow money if you put all that energy into just creating something for yourself. But any final thoughts, man? I mean, we've been here for about an hour, bro.
Has that already been an hour?
Oh, it's been an hour.
It's crazy how fast that goes. We was popping it.
Yeah.
No, man. I just think final thoughts. We just, as a society, need to lean on each other more and talk to each other more. This whole thing about the neighbor and them pressing charges on children when children are being children is insane to me, bro, to hear that. I don't understand what their end goal is. I don't understand what they're trying to achieve with this. Are they trying to like put them on paper or something? Like, what are you guys trying to do? It's crazy. And this could have all been avoided by then just coming to talk to you guys, especially when you guys were already in communications. It's a bit odd to me, man, to be honest with you. But I think people need to put their egos aside.
I think some people
see it for what it is.
some people get bored, bro. And then like I said, when I have receipts and I'm exposing it, it's like, why are you creating this narrative? Like, that's what bothers me about more than any of it altogether. It's the lies.
Right.
Like, let's stand on the facts. Here's all the text messages from the 3 months we've lived here. Here's all of yours. Like, don't say these things that don't align with all these things you've said to my wife when you guys were friends. And then now that you're not, or you're feeling a certain type of way about whatever breakdown of communication y'all had on that one day, now your narrative has completely changed, and you're trying to villainize and weaponize courts against a 10 and a 7-year-old.
That is insane, bro.
That's the part that's what gets under my skin the most, and that's what makes me feel like there's an element of racial motivation.
Okay.
Because you didn't take that same energy on the video of the 5 kids. You didn't go out door to door or put that on. Like, there's a Facebook group for this neighborhood. You could have put that video in there and be like, hey, whose parents are these? My name is so-and-so. I want to talk to y'all.
Right.
If you're so concerned about including those kids in the order, why didn't you take those steps? But you're going to go to the school. You're filing violations. You're at the school as a mascot. You're so involved and invested in making sure my 2 kids have some type of judicial experience. It's
a shame. It's a shame.
When
all they had to do was tell their kids, you can't play with them, and that's all would have been settled.
Yeah, stay away from them and do what I did when I came home that week. Like, still to this day, we sit out here, or I'll make sure that window's open in my office, the garage be open. So if I'm working out, if I'm doing anything, and I told him, if I can't walk to the end of the driveway and see you left or right, you're coming in the house.
You're too far.
Yeah, you're coming in the house.
Yep.
period. And if they go into a friend's house, the mom's got my number, the dad, whoever, like we're in communication. Tell them all the time, hey, if my kids start getting rambunctious, if there's any issues, don't hesitate to send them home and tell me what happened. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
we
what
didn't know,
community should be.
but we didn't know we had to do that until the issue arose. But instead of okay, oh, it's got this far. Well, okay, well, here's the next step. Here's what we have to do now.
Right.
If what we've been doing so far hasn't worked, then we're going to step it up.
I can't.
But they went straight to the courts.
I can't
and
imagine
filing
any situation so drastic it would call for this. Even if the kids got into a fist fight, like what?
Well, they did. Like I said, multiple times. There was multiple little altercations.
That's what kids
but
do.
Also they were mutual.
Right.
My dad will beat up your dad. My dad will kill your dad. My mom will beat up your mom.
That's what kids do.
That's what kids do. But they're putting these all. Well, they said that their parents are killers and would do this. They said that this, and it's like, bro,
so what?
They're kids.
Even if they did, so
and even
what?
if they came over here and initiated a conflict, they're not going to run back and be like, guess what we did? We went over there and bullied Aries and Achilles. Right. They're going to be 100%. Like, we just saw them and they did this. And then the parents are like, yep, that's what happened. Put it in the report. That's a violation. Like, come on, bro. You're like your kids are now at this point parenting you. They're running your life.
And now, sad as it is.
I'm one of the first ones to be like, really? Nope. Tell me again. Tell me what happened. Right. I want them to tell me 3 or 4 times before I decide if I believe it or not. And if I don't, I'm just like, you know what? You're just in the house. Because I don't know what happened.
And you know what? Now, both sets of kids have lost a friend. And it's sad. It could have been avoided.
Yeah. Could have. But, you know, when people double down on something that's kind of just, you know, they get into that space, sometimes it's hard for them to get out of it. And it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, like, I said it before and I'll say it again. If you come for me, just know my angels are undefeated.
There you go.
If I'm in the right, I'm in the right. I'm not gonna lose no wars. My my Lord got me, and His soldiers got me. So what's right is right, man. If you come for me and you wrong, like, you got to face the consequences of not being successful in that endeavor. And you know, you got to live with that, not me, because, you know, the beauty about having changed my life around is I get to stand on everything I do.
Every decision you make, everything you say.
Everything. I get to stand on
every day that you wake up.
You get to, whatever audits you do, you get to check the books, do whatever, skim the Facebook, do what you got to do. You're not going to find anything nefarious in my doings, my dealings, or my community involvement. And so when people try to create those narratives, you know, have fun with that. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. I don't know how it could be enjoyable, but if it is, more power to you. I'm not going to be broken. I've had way higher stake situations in my life.
Right.
That 100%. My angels pulled me through. So, like, this is incredibly low stakes community politics. Like, incredibly low stakes.
I can't even believe I even heard that story today. That's nuts, man. It's the world we live in. It'll be all right, though.
Oh, I do, you know, shout out to Kiwan. He did invite me as a keynote speaker next Saturday morning.
Yeah, he was saying that.
At a men's breakfast, a men's appreciation for mental health awareness. So I'm looking forward to that. You know,
nice to meet you too, brother. I told you that.
Yeah. Before we start shooting, you were telling me that's what made me think of it. Just on our way out, I just wanted to make sure you knew, man. You're good people. You're doing good things, man. You were on from prison and peer work. You got interviewed, and you're staying the path. Like, the work you're doing is valued. You're valued.
Doing this thing, man.
We see you, man. I'm proud of you. Keep your head up.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.